Uh. Oops. Forgot to turn it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my single-player world. This is a world that I have had for over a year. There's been a lot that has been done to it. I have played a lot in it, a lot of survival, pseudo kind of creative stuff when I just felt like doing a little bit of creative work. But a majority of it has been done in survival. And today, I wanted to show off things that I've done, things that I've built, because I have decided that I'm going to bring back a survival series. This will not be streamed. This will all be like recorded, cut down, all that stuff, edited. I may have already done some pretty awesome looking editing before this started. But yeah, I want to bring back like me playing in this world, because this world has a lot of value to me. There's a lot that I've done to it, a lot of things that I've played with, and I would like to do more with it. This map right here, kind of the first thing I wanted to show you guys. This map is like the first, this is the known world that I've got here. So this is the first 5,000 blocks of the entire Minecraft world. So everything outside of this is like unknown to me, pretty much. I haven't explored outside, and I haven't finished it, as you can see. Yeah, this is the known world right now. What is mapped out. Quite a big area. A lot of this I have not actually explored. I just flew through it with my elytra and mapped the entire thing out. Like I said, not everything is done. There's like there's like 24 maps I still need to do, and these are the maxed out maps. These are as big as they can get, and oh man, this whole place is, this whole entire world is just massive. Like, I remember doing a lot. I remember when I first started. So right here is where I first started. This is where spawn is. This is 0, 0. Yeah, this is 0, 0 here. Like right where this beacon, I think this beacon, it represents 0. Yeah, this is 0, 0 right here. I remember starting here over a year ago, because a year ago, I actually used to do streams on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube at the same time. It was like a three-way stream dealio, and haven't done that kind of in a while, but this is what the world I kind of started on. And as I kind of like transitioned away from doing a lot of Minecraft, I stopped doing a lot in this world on camera, but and I just played whatever I wanted off camera. But yeah, this whole entire survival base, this was a multi-week project because I had to gather multiple different resources. And the bottom here, this is actually where the, I'm actually going to switch to creative mode for this. This is where, I also had this area, what's down here? I don't remember this. Oh, okay, right. I remember when I would get stuck down there, I'd have to do that. So this is also, I also built a Nether Hub. And so people that watch my streams on Facebook might know, hi there, Mr. Enderman, might know kind of like my building style for Nether Hubs. So this is a Nether Hub I built. It's not as cool as the one that I built in the multiplayer server. The multiplayer server one is a lot cooler, I think. But I built this entire hub. Right now, I only have two pathways that are built, and then I have a third one that goes into that direction. Maybe we'll go over there. Well, actually not maybe. We will go over there. I'm gonna try to cover everything. Hi there, buddy. You look very friendly. We're just gonna leave you alone since you won't get mad at me. I won't get mad at you. Yeah, this is the Nether Hub. I've done a lot with this. And again, a lot of my inspiration for building Nether Hubs is just, I want to build a system that is easy to get through, that doesn't require you to die when traversing the Nether. I like the idea of a Nether highway like this. I think some people get bored of it, but I really like this idea of a gigantic sprawling highway that just goes on, and you're not seeing any of the dangers of the Nether. Okay, I do have also all my stuff on me right here. My food in this world is actually pumpkin pie, as opposed to just steak in the multiplayer world, mostly just because it's kind of like a thing for me, and I really like it. So yeah, what we're gonna do now, let's go ahead and go to my first actual base. We're gonna go in the through the highway, because I don't actually remember how to get there on the overworld. So, and because I have this whole thing, I feel like I would rather just go through here. So this is my so this will go to my very first base. The ladder right there, by the way, goes down into another part of the Nether, and this actually goes up into a gold farm that I think I was working on, but I don't remember. So we're just gonna go through here. Okay. So this is this is my very first base here that many months I would just spend working on. There's a lot of detail and work that I wanted to do. I will start over here, because this area here is perhaps the first kind of thing that I started with. Actually, can I go above ground? Is there an above ground option here? I can't remember. Right here. We're gonna go up here. Okay. So, a long time ago, this used to be a big forest. There used to be a big village here and a forest. I got rid of most of that, and I'm still getting rid of that. As you can see here, we've still got a lot of ways to go. There used to be nothing but trees here, and grass, and more mountain. But I'm slowly mowing it down. This used to be. I used to have this idea, and I don't know if I have the book somewhere with me. I probably don't. But I used to have a book of ideas for a giant city I wanted to build. And I'm still interested in building said city. I will probably redo parts of it, though, because I had this idea for, like, sectioned off city bits, and I'm thinking I probably will redo some of it, just because, I don't know, I just have different ideas now. And I had this idea for a big tower here. It was, like, made out of crystal and concrete and all of these different materials. I'll probably keep this tower here. My idea for this tower was to, like, have it go down to bedrock, which, funny enough, if I go into spec mode here, I think bedrock still is 0. Because under this... Yeah, so these are some of the chunks that did not spawn in the deeper chunks. So these are old chunks. So, you know, because of where I was... Yeah, that's deep slate. Because of where I was, I cannot dig any lower underneath this base, which is kind of sad, because it would have been cool for, like, a super secret base, which I will get into, because there's a lot of secrets that I kind of put into my things, and it's more for me because I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. But I always had thoughts of, like, oh, one day I want to release this world and people can see it and all that kind of stuff. So when I do release this world, just know that there's gonna be a lot of secrets. Maybe I will throw up, like, a release of this world, since it's, like, over a year old. Maybe just throw it into the ether sphere. I don't know how to do that, but yeah. So there used to be a lot of trees here. This used to be a very natural big landscape. In fact, there was a mountain here that I spent weeks trying to get rid of. It used to be right here. There's still bits of it left, as you can see, but there was a big mountain here. It's all gone now, for the most part, and I was really happy when it was finally gone. There was actually 2 big mountains here that I had to get rid of. Well, I say mountains, but they were more like big hills, because Caves and Cliffs hills now are just kind of really big. So we're coming in here real quick. This is one of my farms that I have. This is a creeper farm here. It has a nice AFK platform up above that I'll show off in a moment, but this is my creeper farm. I can't remember how many layers of this I decided to do, but basically uses the redstone clock, and then it turns on and off the water based off of the ticks. I think some of it is off a little bit right now. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter. And it throws the things in here. It puts them in the pipe and gets thrown into this tiny sorting machine that I have here that sorts the various, because there is some interesting various drops here. So it's basically sorting if it's if it's gunpowder or basically anything else, because we've got gunpowder. I think string is the second highest because of just how many spiders will spawn in there because of how this creeper farm works. But I think gunpowder is the highest, with string being second highest. And then everything else that comes through, like bones and arrows occasionally and chickens will fly into there. Yeah, this whole area was a lot different when I first started out, and now it's like this. Anyway, let's go back to the underground bit, because the underground bit is where I want to spend a lot of my time here. Here is where the farm thing has its redstone bits. So down here is where I would spend, like legitimately, I'd say a good couple of months worth of time was spent just working on this underground base. So this underground base, when I found it, whenever I find a ravine, I think, I was in a phase when I really loved ravines and wanted to play around with them. This is before Caves and Cliffs came out, and the caves were actually a lot cooler after that. But this ravine, oh, and the stuff is gonna look weird because it's texture pack, but this ravine, now the cool thing about this ravine, it's not just one ravine. It's not just one. It's two, but it's not just two. But the selling point for this ravine was, oh, there's two ravines here. So I can make a pretty cool looking base with two ravines. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. But it's not just two ravines. There's a third ravine. And this one's less developed than the first two here. The first two here are the most developed and worked on. And eventually I would like to continue working on the other ones. Is this blackstone? No, that's deep slate. Oh, I guess I did have deep slate before I had... I don't remember gathering all this deep slate, but I guess it's here. But there was a third ravine here. Now, crazy, believe it or not, there also used to be axolotls here. I don't know what happened to them. Maybe they crawled all the water and dried out, which is kind of sad. But there's not just 3 ravines. There is a 4th ravine as well. This like blew my mind, because like I was sold on the 2nd ravine. The 3rd one blew my mind really massively. And then this 4th one I discovered, I think, during a stream. I was just like, wait, where the heck did this come from? And so, you know, a 4th ravine here, just like really cool. The most underdeveloped one, obviously, and it'll probably be that way for a while, but coming back up here. Now this right here, this was a little bit more of a recent project for me. I had this kick that I wanted to make a subway. Or not subway, not subway, it's a, what is this called? I want to call it a subway, but it's not a subway. I can't remember what it's called. My brain. I'll throw in editing. I'll edit and post what this is actually called, and my brain just can't think of it right now. But I was working on one of these, and that's actually not too far away from over here, from this whole village thing. You know what, let me go back to the village real quickly. So why I wanted to do an underground village is I've never seen... Oh, I forgot. This guy's just been here for months and months. He's just kind of been chilling there. I wanted to do an underground village because I've always seen above ground villages, and I've worked with above ground villages, and I knew how to make those look really cool. But I've never had an underground village that I felt was neat. And so I decided that I was going to start working on one. This isn't the finished product, by the way. I had plans... You see this big building right here? This is a library. I had plans, like with this church here that needs some work. I had some plans to make more buildings for villagers to live in. This was kind of like the market area that I was working on, showcasing some of my favorite villager stuff. And then I don't know what this thing is. I think this whole room is just... I think this room is just a random thing I added, but... I had a bedroom up here for some of them, which messed up where their job blocks were, because they would hang out up there and never come back down here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do up there, but like my plan is eventually to add more in this area, like add more housing here, because I built bridges and I would like to add more houses along here, and just along this area as well. Like add houses along this area, except for like here, because this, another idea that I kind of repeated in the multiplayer world. This was a dungeon that I wanted to create a dungeon. I was inspired, I think, by strongholds. I was like, I want to create one of my own strongholds. So is that more deep slate? I think this is more deep slate. Hold on. Yeah, that's more deep slate. I used deep slate here. Wait, what? I don't remember that. I see, this is a lot of crazy things. I don't remember a lot about some of the stuff I worked on, but this was a dungeon that I started working on, and I think I wanted to start working on something like this because I wanted to create a better villager farm or trading area, because I had villagers out there that I would trade with, and then some of them died. I don't remember why, but I would have villagers out there. And then I decided I wanted to build a dungeon to showcase all of my villagers. So all of these villagers in here have just different trades on them. Yeah, this guy's got Fortune, this one's got Depth Strider, Aqua Affinity. And I decided I just wanted to have all of my villagers in like a dungeon-like setting, which sounds kind of cruel. I know it's pretty crazy sounding, but I think it looks pretty neat. I think it's a you know, I wanted to like have this new kind of take on a villager trading thing, and this was kind of like my solution. And it doesn't have very much on it done so far. I've been slow. I think I slowly worked on it, then just got bored with it and stopped working on it. But I had I think these are mason villagers that all trade masonry. And I think this was so that I could get a lot of trades going. I have farmers here as well for farmer stuff. And yeah, this is a project that unfortunately I just never got around to continuing, but I think I want to continue it when the time comes. And I think this was like a natural cave pathway that I was working on that I actually think this is kind of neat. I think my thought process back then was I wanted to make something natural looking that looked kind of cool. But yeah, this whole dungeon thing, I wanted to just kind of create. Oh, I remember this too. So I was working on another floor, and because I got this library right here, which already conflicts with something else, because this whole thing is going to run into that, and I think I already thought about this, but I'm going to have to like move it a little bit this way and then go that way. But this whole piping system right here, which does actually hook up to the main city. I think I was working on this because of the main city, but this is going to have to move a little bit so that it doesn't run into the library here. Then I'm going to have to block up bits of the library so that it doesn't hit that. I don't know which one I'll work on first, but yeah. So yeah, this whole dungeon thing, very fun, and I think I want to get back to working on crazy projects. I don't know, I just like crazy hidden projects like this. I think you know, I like building a lot above ground, but I also like including secretive based stuff like this underground. I think I've liked that for a long time. And yeah, so that this was the bait. This was where I spent like a lot of my time. I built quite a few item pipes. Now I mentioned this on a stream of mine a while ago. I like item pipes. And the reason why I like item pipes is I like mods and I like mod packs, and I liked a lot of the mod packs that use futuristic elements like pipes to move things back and forth. I also love Satisfactory, which is another game that uses stuff like that, and so item pipes like this I really enjoy. And so these pipes actually were hooked up to different farms below here. So we're gonna go down here. So this first cavern here was kind of like a natural cavern, but this second one was more of like more like industrial feeling. And the reason why I wanted to do that's weird water thing right there. The reason why I wanted to do that is because I wanted to put all of my farms down here. Now I had a lot of cows in here at one point. There's not a lot of cows anymore. I have my sheep farm in here. I'm actually gonna pop back into creative mode. I have a sheep farm here that I have not looked at in a while. All of my sheep. Oh my goodness, have we used all of those? We might have, or perhaps the game deleted them. I can't tell. A lot of wool, by the way. A lot of wool. And I have got to continue working on this, but yeah, so this is where I built my sheep farms. Again, I copied this for when I did it in the multiplayer world. I have a lot of other farms here that still need work, like this right here is wheat and carrots. I made the wheat and carrot one so that I could trade with villagers. I'm not gathering right now. Do I have mob griefing off? I have turned it on. True. Now they will only do stuff when that's true. But yeah, I had these modular farms that I set up. Again, I did this in my multiplayer world. I copy a lot of the stuff that I do in my single player world over to the multiplayer one because it just works. It just works and it looks cool. I also had in here, pop back into creative. I had a couple of different farms in here. Oh, it looks like I got either I got rid of them or the game deleted some of them. But I had a sugarcane farm here. I'm gonna need to make more sugarcane farms eventually, but because I'll need more paper. But I had sugarcane farms in here. I had bamboo. Oh yeah, this used to be bamboo. Probably already removed it because it was bamboo. And then I had kelp. Now I believe I removed the kelp because it just wasn't working for me. And the reason why I wanted kelp is so that I can make unlimited fuel. And that was before I learned about carpet duping, which I haven't done yet in this world, but I will. And this was also before I had a sea lantern farm, so you can see that there's torches right here. Oops. There's torches right there. Where that carrot came from. And yeah, the guts of this whole thing is just, it's really cool. And I like the item pipes again because they look neat, and I use the glass because the glass makes it look cool. And all of these farms, because all of these farms have an item pipe hooked up to them, they go to this deep storage that I created. And this is probably one of my favorite places in the entire world, is this deep storage here. Oh gosh, I forgot I have a beacon set up here. So this deep storage I created first because I wanted to have a place to store iron, and then eventually sugarcane. I have way more sugarcane than I thought I did. So I wanted a place to store iron. And I forgot that glow squids can spawn in the water, so that they'll die from that. Oh, speaking of the iron farm, let me show that off real quick as well, because the iron farm is actually... So I made an iron farm underground. Very tiny, very small, but also very efficient. And it works while I'm kind of just in this area. So this is the iron farm. Very simple. I can't remember who showed it to me. I watched a video on it. But this is all it is. You've got the 3 villagers. They're trapped. You've got Bob the zombie. I can't remember. Actually, is his name Bob? No, it's Crazy Dave. That's right. I called him Crazy Dave because of Plants vs. Zombies, which was one of my favorite games as a kid. But you have the zombie trapped right here. He's forcing the villagers here to be terrified. And then you have the only spot that the golem can spawn. And this will only work, by the way, if there is no space, no cave around you. So I had to, like, legitimately search all around this to find cave, and it was very annoying. But what you do is you close off all the cave around you, and then the only spot the golem can spawn is on this cobblestone right here. And so he'll roll towards the cobblestone, he'll get hit by the lava, he'll die, and then the iron will go into this pipe system that will go into deep storage. And we'll come back up here. Yep, come back up here. And this is my deep storage. Again, I love this. I love this thing because it just, I don't know, it looks neat. Probably way too many torches in here, but I love it. It's unfinished, obviously, because I haven't, like, found any, just haven't found anything else that I want to throw in deep storage, but I probably will one day. Flip back into spec mode here real quickly. And what I did is for the wheat one, I actually have this system where the wheat seeds get turned into bone meal. So I have a bone meal farm going as well. And then the wheat just gets thrown back. Oh, I don't want to show that off. That's a spoiler. The wheat gets thrown in, but the seeds get turned into bone meal. So I had a pretty good bone meal farm. So it's a lot of materials. As you can see, I don't have anything else set up, which is why I haven't continued it. Let's see here. So we've got these elevators here. Let's go up at the one all the way at the end here. All the way to my item storage area. So a lot of people like to do sorting machines. I used to like doing sorting machines. In fact, I used to have a pretty nice setup of sorting machines in an old world. I don't believe in sorting machines anymore. At least not in a big quantity. Because big sorting machines lag your worlds. It definitely would lag mine. And so I prefer in doing a hallway of items, and it actually stops after a certain bit, and I'm gonna have to, if I need more space, which I probably will, continue the items in another hallway. Like, I have this whole thing set up to where I can branch it off if I need to. Like, I've got hallways going this way. Is this my super smelter? Yeah, these are super smelters of mine. These are old designs that I think those are Mumbo designs that I copied before I found better methods for it. But oh man, these are a bunch of, holy crap! I forgot how much diamond armor I just have laying around, and all these diamond swords. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so this was like a long scale project that I really enjoyed working on as well. Like, I loved all of this. And this room had many different like little changes to it. But the first thing I did that I think was my favorite is, it looks like, by the way, it looks like underneath me there is a void. I'm gonna break this real quickly so that you can see. Now what I did is I took concrete. This is one of the first things I ever did when I started working on this world. This is the first big project. I took concrete, black concrete right here. Not easy to get early on, but I did it. And I then took regular glass and tinted white stained glass, and I created a void. So, you know, when you walk along it, I mean, if you really zoom in, you'll see that it's concrete, but it looks like you're walking over a void. And I really like this. I think this is really cool. I was very into this idea. A lot of other people that watched me thought this was pretty neat, and so I really enjoyed working on this. This also leads into a couple other rooms that I built. Actually, there's a couple entrances to this. So this is my grand library. This was based, again, off of a stronghold. And I kind of just... This is a design that I kind of threw together. Like, I looked at the design for a stronghold and said, I'll one-up you, and this is it. This is my enchantment room. All of the bookshelves here are all the ones that you need for full level 30 enchantments. I don't have anything I could enchant, but this is the level you need for level 30 enchantments and all that kind of stuff. Really, I really did enjoy it. This was probably one of my other favorite projects, is working on this. And of course, you know, there's nothing else going to it, but I think what I want to do is eventually incorporate some form of way of getting from this to the dungeon that I have project that I'm slowly working on. Oh, and this is where all my lapis is, because yeah. So yeah, this is the big item room right here. It also leads, eventually I did discover a better way of using super smelters. So this is my super smelter line that I had set up. This is a more recent-ish project, like within the last, I want to say I did this like 8 months ago or something like that. I worked on this more recently than everything else because I wanted to make super smelters for everything. Ooh, you're not moving. That's not good. Oh, bueno. I wanted to work on a... Why are you getting stuck? What? Why are you getting stuck? That is confusing. Are the other ones getting stuck? No, it's just that one. Why is that one stuck? They're all powered, aren't they? Powered rail. That's really weird. I don't know how to fix that. Okay, well, I'll fix that later, I guess. That's for the smooth stone, and smooth stone is a high value item. As you can, I used a lot of it for those other builds, so I need that to work 100% of the time. But yeah, I have a lot of these. That's making glass. But that isn't finished. But eventually, I'd like to do more super smelters for foods as well. And that leads into this other unfinished project of mine. I really love underwater cities. I probably guess why. I really love underwater cities, and I eventually want to make an underwater city base, which is probably another project that I'm gonna be working on. This is actually this whole tunnel was actually going to go out towards my my sea farm, my prismarine farm here that I have. That works really well, I must add. This is perhaps better efficient than the one in the multiplayer server. One in the multiplayer server I just made quickly, I wanted to have it made and yeah, working on getting prismarine, but this is a much more efficient one. But I eventually want to make a tunnel system all the way to this, just kind of not for anything other than just because it would look cool and stuff. And I wanna get it. I also, yeah, I just want to get it done. But the way that this basically works, just for those that don't know, the way that this works is the fish are pushed up to the top of the surface. They are then pushed into the portal, and on the other side of the portal is a bunch of campfires that will kill them. So, there's that. But yeah, eventually I want to do this whole project here, get that all done, make an underwater... I want to make an underwater base, because I've done underwater bases before. I actually used to play on a server where I did a massive underwater base, and I used a bunch of prismarine in order to do it. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore, but that was like a big thing for me. So eventually I want to get that done, have a gigantic underwater base. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to edit all this out, but we will get rid of a lot of this. Which way am I going? This way. Anyway, that's most of the base. That's most of the base. So what we're gonna do now is we are gonna visit a couple other spots that are really important to me. The main base is probably where most of this video is, but there is more that I need to show off. But anyway, this portal would actually lead to my end portal. If I go through here, I'm gonna show this off very briefly. So this is my end portal, the first one. I actually have two that I have found. This one I have turned into a sand duper. I also kind of give it a futuristic-y kind of look, kind of like a lab kind of look. I have this like idea where I want to build like an underground lab here. Let me go into spec mode. Does the chunks go down deep? They don't. Sadly, the chunks don't go down very deep here. They will eventually. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have like an underground futuristic looking base over there, or maybe like move it more over there. But I made this. This is a sand duper. I should really just call it a gravity duper. It will duplicate all gravity blocks except for dragon eggs, I think. And the bed is just to save your respawn so that you can spawn back here after you get sand. Then you'd come over here, and I have a concrete machine that helps you make concrete. And then I have different chests, which I was planning on building to store different kinds of concrete. If I ever just felt like that. There's another, there is a spawner here. There's like a enemy spawner somewhere over here. Let me... Yeah, there's a spawner over here. Will you skeleton? Zombie. Yeah, there's a zombie spawn. There's a lot of spawners I would end up finding in this area. Not in this area, but just in this world. So, pop back through here. Head all our way to my second base. Now, there was a period when I was playing in this world where I was like, you know what? I want to make a new base. Just want to start in a new area. And what's funny is that new base was actually right next to a stronghold. I didn't plan this, but it was right next to a stronghold. Oh, that poor magma cube. That I frequently use for getting skeletons. And I started a second base. This was actually right next to a village as well. So what I did is I encircled the village with wood. I looked up this design for like a wood fence, and I like this design. It's using a combination, I think, of stripped spruce and oak logs, and then stone. It looks really cool. The village is kind of empty right now because most of the villagers, I don't know what happened to them. It's been so long. I created another iron farm right here. My goal was to create 4 iron farms, and I think eventually I will do that. But I had this idea of making more I don't know why. I wanted to make more farms right here, so I made a bunch of cool looking things. I made these cubes, or like not octagons. Actually, is it an octagon? Yeah, it's an octagon. These octagon shapes, and wanted to put villagers in them. Didn't eventually happen, but maybe it will. And I had this idea for making a pretty big, kind of like Japanese-inspired house here. It's kind of like my dream house kind of thing. Didn't happen yet. But yeah, I had this. This is kind of like my second base, and I just had this idea of like starting anew in a new area, with not new materials, but just different space. And I think eventually I'm gonna work on the portal and I work on a better tower, because this is the tower I made, and I made this tower as like a I don't want to die kind of thing. But yeah, that was my second base. There wasn't a lot to see there as opposed to the first one. But anyway, there's one more area that I kind of want to show off, I think. Is there anything else I missed? I don't think so. A lot of the other spots that I have been in this world aren't really important to show off too much. I do have that second end portal, but that's not really important. I will show off the other tunnel real quickly, though. So, there is 2 tunnels that I've worked on right now. This second one is supposed to be... Oh. Hi there. He's been kind of waiting for me to come back. This second tunnel is inspired off of strongholds, or not strongholds, nether fortresses, and so I decided to model it like, and this is a nether stronghold kind of place. I need to make more nether brick. That may be a project that I work on in the future, but I wanted to like make a pretty big tunnel, and it leads to a another portal, and this portal goes to another stronghold that I found. I think I have plans to eventually just like find all the strongholds and then hook them up to the portal network, just because. But yeah, I like this. This is pretty cool. I like this design, and there's one more thing I wanted to show off. It'll take me a little bit to get to, so give me a moment. There we go. I think yep, there we are. We're there now. Okay, so I can't remember how long this was. I was surfing on, and I'm purposefully not showing it off right now. Oh gosh, my game is not enjoying being here. Okay. So a long time ago, I was like surfing the Minecraft website, and occasionally they put out articles of builds that they see, and sometimes I get inspired by that. So I saw this like article, and I can't remember where it is. And if I find it, I'll see if I can throw it in the description. But I wanted to build, and this was a creative project I was working on. It's a wholly creative project, and when I continue working on this, it will be a creative project. Like I said, this is a pseudo-creative survival world, but when I work on this project, it will be done in creative, because it's just a creative project I want to work on. But I saw like this idea for like a maze that people worked on, and it was like a randomly generated one. I think that they like use command blocks to randomly generate the maze bits, but I wanted to build it by hand and work on it by hand. So the way that this whole maze works is I take the simple concept of where's the exit, and then I build ways to get to the exit. And my goal with this whole thing is to create a massive sprawling maze. I had a little booklet where I wrote everything down. I don't have it anymore. Well, actually, I think I do. I just don't know where it is. But I have this booklet where I wrote down all of these pathways, and I worked on these mazes for a long time. It was actually a couple weeks of work, actually. And I want to continue this eventually, because this is a really cool maze concept. I'm not going to show off the solutions because that would be counterintuitive to excuse me, keeping it a secret for when I release the map for people to experience. But I was inspired to like make these to make this maze based off of another maze I found, and I thought it was pretty cool. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. I forgot just like the kind of BS that I worked on in these rooms. Like I think back then I was a little bit more willing to make crazy stuff like this. I think I still am now. It's just this whole thing is like massive. And this was like a checkpoint that I built here. So yeah, this is a project that will not be done for a long time because it requires a lot. One, it requires me to be in creative mode. And 2, it's just very massive. I also remember I lit up the area pretty nicely. I think I need to do some more lighting options, just so that mobs don't spawn at the top, because I'm pretty sure if I... Pretty sure if I set it to night, mobs might start spawning. Well, maybe they won't. I don't know. But I need to put more lighting up above so that mobs don't spawn. And then try and kill you. Yeah. It's like to where mobs don't spawn. See, we got somebody down there. Is that that's a zombie villager. Oh, hi there, buddy. Hi there. Nice to meet you. Oh, he looks kind of cool. He's like an elf with a zombie elf. That's kind of neat. But yeah, so I need to... There's a lot of work that I still need to do on this. But like the whole concept behind this was just... I wanted to make a maze. Kind of like... it was also kind of inspired by Labyrinth. I actually think I watched Labyrinth while I was working on this once. But I wanted to make a labyrinth for people to get through. I don't know what I was going to put at the end of it. But I think the concept was the further along you went, the harder it got. Or the more twists and turns you had. So I think... I think I have an idea for how I want to take this or where it's going to go, but it's going to take a while for me to execute it. And as you can see here, I had big ideas for this. I don't know if I've got a map on hand. I don't think I do have a map on hand. But my plan for this entire thing, let me see if I can just go over here this way. My plan for this entire thing, as you can already see, there's hundreds upon hundreds of these little blocks that I can make. And each one of these blocks, I think, is a chunk. Is it counted as one chunk? Yeah, they're all in one chunk. So these are chunk-wide map, or chunk-wide, labyrinth bits here. My mind. These are chunk-wide, mazes here. A mini maze inside a bigger maze where you have to figure out where to go, and then you have to figure out where you're going in the next room, and you lose your way. There's no way out, unfortunately. But my plan for this was to make a pretty big sprawling labyrinth. And I have some ideas of what I would like to do with it now, but it's a long-term project. One that I probably would work on during a live... Maybe if I did live streams of this world, it would probably be me working on this whole thing. But as you can see, I think I did eventually get to a point over here, because I think I wanted this to only be as big as the sea, because once I got to... Oh, there's a sea temple there. I think I reached a point where it was like, once I get to the end of the sea, I need to stop working on it, and this sea is pretty massive. Actually, I think if I... If I teleport back to spawn here. Spec. If I teleport back and look at the map room real quickly. So, it is all the way down there. We're just gonna... So you can see where checkpoint 1 is. Right there. You can see how big it is already. My goal is to fill up all of this. Make a big, massive square kind of thing. It's just... a big idea, I know. But anyway, I think that's it, honestly. I think everything... Oh, I forgot to show off the first village. I'll save that for another day. I'll save that for another time. But, I think that's it, for the most part, of the Survivor world. And that's like a year and a half of me touching it and playing it. And after this episode 0, I think we'll get back to doing that. I think we'll get back to working on that. But I think this is where I'm going to end it off for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, if you did. If you liked, a like would be much appreciated. If you're not subbed, I would appreciate a sub as well. I also have different links in the description that you can follow me in. If you want to follow me on other things, I have lots of different platforms where you can interact with me. But other than that, what's that over there? Oh, that's the other compound. So that's the other compound. So that was the second base. That was the first base. And that's the end portal. And yeah. This is the first 5,000 blocks, by the way. This is 5,000 blocks. Crazy. Oh! Before I end off, don't go just yet. Don't go just yet, because I have one other thing I want to show off. This is a super secret thing. Nobody else will have this. Nobody else will have this in their survivor world at 1.19. Only I do. I've got bundles. I've got bundles. I got quite a lot of bundles, but you can't make them anymore. I made a bunch of these because I knew that they weren't going to come to the game, but I got bundles. I will be the only Let's Player out there with a survivor world with bundles. Because I started playing this on snapshots. So, I played this the day that the snapshot for bundles came out. That's how old this world is. Yeah, anyway, I'm done now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and if you liked, again, a like would be much appreciated. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next one.